Alright guys, I'm about to call my scammer one more time and see if he picks up. This is nerve-wracking. My heart's racing, guys. This is like super...
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
So this has happened to me one other time in the past, but this time it was definitely the weirdest. I think the best place to start with this is just at the beginning. So my name is Chris and I make YouTube videos, but as a full-time job, I'm a magician. I travel around and perform magic at different events, and it is just a whole lot of fun. I have some magic videos here on YouTube if you want to check them out, but the focus of today's story is about how I almost got scammed by a really creepy guy for $2,000. It's just freaky. It's just weird. I'm like, oh, I just want to hear what he sounds like. That's it. I just want to be like, alright, I know you're a real person. So let's just start here. As a business owner, people reach out to me all the time and ask me for more information about my magic. Sometimes people email me, sometimes people call me up on the phone, or they reach out through Facebook or Instagram, and every once in a while, people will text me. Now, when people text me and don't call me or email me, I think that's kind of the first sign that something is a little off. Now, a couple days ago, this guy reached out to me. I'm gonna black out his number and his last name, because I don't know if this is his number, and I don't even know if that's his real name. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna call this guy Paul. This guy Paul reached out to me asking for more information about a magician or a magic service. Now his first text message seemed pretty normal, okay? So I thought he was legitimate, so I responded and just sent a normal, response. And so this is where it starts to get weird. A little bit later that day, he randomly texts me and says, "Hi Chris, how are you doing?" Now my clients don't just randomly text me and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" So that's when I knew something was off. And that's when my wife Kayla started to tell me, "Chris, this is not a good thing. Like, this is a scam." She knew right at the beginning what was coming, and she was trying to warn me. And I was just like, no, he might just not know how to use a phone. So at about this time, my wife and I were on our way to her parents' house for dinner. And so I told Paul that I would get back to him tomorrow, the next day, in the morning. And that's when he texted me the weirdest thing. He says, "Okay then." Like, is that passive aggressive or what? How would you respond if some customer of yours texted you and said, "Okay then"? Is he saying it like that, or is he like, "Okay then"? Or is he like, "Okay then"? So the next morning comes and I text Paul and I'm like, "Hey, I'd love to learn more about your event. Do you have a date, a time, a venue?" And he gets back to me 2 hours later and he says, "Sorry for the delay. Yeah, I have, and would love to send you the house address to you." And then he gives me an address. That's where this starts to get really creepy. He gives me an address from my hometown. Now I'm gonna black it out in the screenshot, but this is weird to me, guys. His grammar is really bad in these text messages, and I'm already feeling a little bit weird about this. Kayla's telling me that he's not really real and he's trying to rip me off, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But then he says this: "I wait your response soonest." I'm really struggling to hang on right here because it just seems really odd. Like, I just have a weird instinctual feeling that this is not good, and my wife is telling me it's not good, and usually when my wife tells me something, she's probably right. So I'm like, I don't even know where to go with this. So I text him back and I tell him I would just need a signed contract and a deposit, and then I could reserve the date for you. And then it starts to get weirder and weirder with every text response. He says, "I need a fast response from you, and I want to make a full payment. I don't know if you're okay with that, just to cover up everything, right?" I'm on my last thread right here. I'm giving him the olive branch that is super long, and I'm like, I'm trusting this guy's real and he's not trolling me right now. So I tell him, yes, full payments are fine. I do it all the time. I just need a signed contract. And then he says his famous line again, "Okay then." Then he gives me an email address. Now this email address, I'm not going to show it to you, but it looks like he just created this on the spot. Like, in between my text message and his response is about 25 minutes. So it's almost like he read my response, created a fake email address, and then sent me that email address. And notice the space in between the period and the comma as well. Like, that's a little bit weird too. And then he asked me for a favor. After sending me the contact for me signed, would need a favor from you regarding the photographer. Now, I'm not a photographer. I'm a magician. So I'm like, hold up. What do you mean photographer? And that's where he drops the bomb. His response gave it all away. I completely knew that he was a scammer. Now also, I asked him if he had a photographer because I said if you need a photographer, I can help you find one. And so he responds by saying this.
Yeah, I have one already. But the favor is, since I'm going to pay you with my CC credit card, which $350, I want you to charge with the sum of $2,350. You help me send $2,000 while you keep $350 as your services charge and extra $100 tips for the errand. Do let me know if it's what you can handle and would like to know what the merchant you'll be using to charge my card with.
I knew right then and there he was scamming. I mean, guys, this is a huge problem. Basically what he's asking is this. He wants to send me, using a credit card, I'll tell you about that in a second, $2,350. He then wants me to refund him $2,000, but then somehow keep an additional $100. First of all, his math is wrong. If I keep an extra $100 in tips, which is like a crazy amount of tips, I usually don't get that much tips, like, ever, especially before the event even happens, okay? That's really weird. But even if I kept $100 in tips, that means I would refund $1,900 to him, not $2,000 like he said. And second of all, this is the shadiest thing ever. But he's trying to make it sound good by saying, yeah, you can keep $100 in tips, cash money. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was freaking out because this random guy has my phone number, he knows my name, he probably knows where I live and like what town I'm in. So anyway, I respond back to him and I say, look man, no, I do not do those types of transactions. I need full exact payments. I don't do that type of thing. And after texting him that, I wanted to see if I could call him up. I used *67 before I dialed my number, which makes my number show up as like no caller ID. And I wanted to see if he would answer because I want to know, like, what does this guy sound like? Is he even like from our country? Is he real?
The subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, so he wasn't there. No way am I leaving a message for him. I'm gonna try calling him back one more time.
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Andrew!
Please leave a message after the tone.
My gosh. Alright, well, there you have it. He's not a real person. I swear, I was so nervous. I did a live stream and some of you guys told me to give the information to the police, which is something I'm going to be doing very soon. And I'm gonna try calling him one more time today to see if I can get in touch with him, because I want to know, is this person even real? Like, I just don't know. It's just really creepy. Because he tried to take advantage of me for $2,000. And I just wonder, like, you know, if this hadn't happened to me before, because it did. It happened one other time, like a couple years ago. Someone tried to do the same thing, charge me or send me a lot of money and ask for a really big refund. And I did my research back then and I realized this is a scam, you know, that's totally not a normal way of doing things. So I just think, man, if I didn't do that in the past, I might have been more likely to do it this time. And so that's my crazy scam story. If any other updates come from this scam story, I'll let you guys know. Now, I even looked up the area code for the number and it says it's from Alabama. Now, I'm not from Alabama, so I don't know why he's calling me. Every once in a while I run into one of these types of situations and I gotta make a video about it because it's so weird. Let me know your comments down below if you think I handled this properly, and also tell me about your own scam stories. People tried to scam you in the past or have tried to, you know, take advantage of you somehow. Let me know. But that's all I got for you guys this week. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to turn notifications on. I do live streams and upload videos every single week. And until next time, I will see you guys with an extra $2,000. Oh man, bye guys.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.